Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jacqueline, what's
up?
Cheers.
Cheers.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's funny because we're saying hi to each other, but we've been together all day. Well, at least as soon as you got off jury duty.
Oh my gosh, that's right. It feels like I've lived probably like 3 days in one this morning.
It's been a long day. A lot of things.
Today was the first morning that I've needed a class covered since I had a baby.
I know. It's crazy.
That's usually not something that I need, a class covered.
No, you never ever need some.
I was thinking about that last night when I knew that I was going to get called in for jury duty, but I'm so excited to let you guys know that I do not have to perform any more jury duties for the rest of the week. I literally sat in a chair for 3.5 hours.
Yep.
For them to tell me that the judges decided that nothing needed to go to trial today. It was just like a misdemeanor day. Is what they said. They said Wednesday's a misdemeanor day.
Well, I know, prior to this, I think you went into it thinking, okay, I'm not going to be able to be on my phone, my computer. I'm going to have to like read a book, and it was like, my God,
I was so worried about
like,
it.
How are you going to get anything done?
Right.
But you were able to get on your computer,
Yep.
which maybe not your phone, right? Your phone was...
No, it was on my phone. There were even people that were like talking on the phone, but I didn't want to be like rude because I was literally sitting closer to people than you and I are sitting right now. Like we were right next to each other.
Yeah.
And like our juror numbers were even like on the side of our...
What was your number?
It was 57. There isn't really any significance to it. I think
there might be.
Like in the future?
Yeah. Maybe it's something, a sign.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just keep it in mind.
I don't know. I don't like to think about that.
Okay. Anyway, but I was worried that you were literally going to be sitting there like, olden days, like sitting there on a hard bench reading a book.
So if I would have gotten called to do it and I got inside the courtroom, that's when I wouldn't be able to be on my... And I thought that that's how it was going to be the whole time, but it wasn't.
So I have to say in my 53 years, and I'm going to knock on some wood right here, I have not been called for jury duty. And I know some people want to be called for jury duty.
You get summoned next week.
I swear to God.
It's going to be so funny. And you have to be on like some 6-month trial.
It's our duty. But
They definitely made me feel really important at the beginning. Like it was actually a very almost like empowering experience, and everyone was really nice. It was all women. One of the judges, there were 12 judges. One of them came to
women?
speak. No, I am not too sure of the sexes of the other judges, but there were 12 judges total. The commissioner was a woman, and the way that she was explaining how thankful, like she was also very funny. Like she just had a really great sense of humor. And I know that everyone that worked with her knew it too, because the one judge made a comment about how she just stand up on the side.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
She was an older woman, and, just the way that she made us feel at the very beginning, she's like this, just about how,
I guess
how the world works and how it's
and
just fair and how it's important. It was just really nice to hear it coming from her. But then when the judge came up and introduced herself, just one of the judges, I don't know, there was just something about it.
It is our duty to perform, right? Like, our judicial system relies on it. Mm-hmm. So it is important. So I do, understand. It's just that disruption you feel going into like, oh my gosh, like how do I, you had Jackson, you have your classes, you have like, or I would have a business. Like, how do I just like, up, and you do, and you can, and you figure it out.
It was also kind of cool. Like you're sitting in this room with a bunch of other people and you're all very similar to Tribe. In that moment, we were all on the exact same page.
Yeah.
Like we all had other stuff going on. You could hear like other conversations going on.
Well,
like
at one point I got a text.
Have like Coachella like in Canva coming up, and this woman next to me, she's typing a Word document in a different language.
Oh,
I'm like,
well, and the other person on the other side, you told me, was snoring.
The woman that was snoring, a bus driver. She was a bus driver.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know what you do. I know what I do. The guy behind me is like talking about ordering like drywall or some sort. Like he is having to like talk somebody on his team like through some stuff because he has to be where he's at. I'm like, I don't know. It was just kind of
How
cool.
many people were in this who were
at least 50?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not really good at just like, I can't guess the number of jelly beans in a jar. So I don't know if that's accurate. There might have been 100 people. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
Because if you could do that, you would be very rich. Because there's a lot of those.
But I know that there was definitely a good amount of people.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you weren't called, because it does make my life a lot easier with all the things.
It makes everyone's lives a lot easier.
For sure. But it's an experience. So but I'm glad you weren't called to actually sit on the jury.
Happy. My butt was really starting to hurt. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Like, when you're on like a road trip.
Was it like a hard seat? Was it a hard seat?
Kind of.
Or was it a cushion?
There was a cushion.
There was a cushion. Like a train station, like wooden seat.
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
There was a little cush there. But they would give us breaks, and I was working on the front desk schedule. I was in Canva. I was just getting work done for Tribe, and I was just like in the zone. And I feel like I'm already ingrained to like not stop because of that nap time hustle. I just want to keep going because you never know when he's going to wake up. But my ass started to hurt real bad, to the point where like I had to like shift down in my seat.
I mean, you were allowed to stand up and move around if you had to, right?
Oh, there was like a whole table. There were vending machines, all the things.
Oh, yeah.
But they were very strict about, like, if I were to have had to gone to the table, then it was very, I didn't feel comfortable going over to the table if I wanted to sit at the table and work at my laptop. Like, I would have to carry my number with me.
Well, of course.
I would 57. Have to tell somebody like where I was going. Like, I forget. I think it was like the bailiff. They kept telling me like to let the bailiff know or something. Oh, do you remember that actual jury duty show? It was a great show. I almost watched that last night.
That was but that wasn't. That was like a reality show almost, right?
Yeah, but I think that's like pretty accurate.
Yeah, no. That was really funny because the one guy didn't know that everybody else was in on it. That was a great show. Such a good concept. If you've not seen that, that's a good one to watch.
For sure.
Well, I'm glad that is over with. We're taping well, first of all, let's just say I've got a friend in town. My best friend from high school, Jenny, is here in town with her daughter, and they're big fans, and she's having a little cough attack right now. No, she's good. But they're here. So she came into town like last minute, and so she's here for this. But we are taping a little bit late, right? So we usually tape on Monday, and we were going to. But
we were going to tape on Sunday night.
Oh, right, Sunday night. Well, it was Sunday night. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, you're right. But I think after my day on Sunday, I was so tired.
I was too.
And I was just like, I think I came home at one point after running errands, after teaching and all the things. And I literally flopped on the couch and fell dead asleep.
Yeah.
Like in like the worst position. You know, sometimes you just feel like you're lights out, and that's what happened. So I was like all kinked up, and my neck hurt, my back hurt. I was like, what in the heck happened? So I think I called. I was like, listen, we can't do it today.
I could feel it in my bones that you were going to say like, let's do this another day. The Masters was on.
Yes.
The Masters was on Sunday, and Jackson was awake. John was hanging out with him. And I think, so I took your class Sunday morning, 10:30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get back home, and I spent some time with Jackson. John gets home from the gym, and when we're like, it's almost like we're passing the torch a little bit with Jackson sometimes, because like he'll watch him, I'll watch him, whatever. And as soon as John got home, I felt this sense of relief, and I just literally got into the horizontal position.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was right on the couch, and I was like, I mean, it was lights out.
Yeah. Because you're not the only one.
Like
with
my
the eyeball on
brain
him.
was literally shutting down, and I didn't even say I'm going to take a nap. I was just like, and it's time.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. Like it was a long week. I'm not really sure even what happened. Sometimes the weeks kind of meld into the weekends and the week to week, but I was spent. It was a long one.
Yeah.
I think you and I both taught a lot as well. So, and there were just a lot of things to get done. Yeah. So, but it was a good weekend. the Masters was on, so everybody loves that, especially at my house. I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but it was a good Masters.
I really liked how it ended.
Rory
McIlroy, and I think that before the actual day starts, each family gets an opportunity to go out and shoot.
Cute.
And it was his daughter.
Yes,
who
that long
shot.
putt.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did.
So she
I don't
kind of
think
like
I saw it live, but John showed it to me.
She like hit it with the side of her club or something. So I went out with some friends that as well, and they were telling me all about this, and I hadn't seen it. But then that next morning, they were talking about it on the Today Show. Willie Geist was, and they showed it. It was adorable.
So cute.
And then there was another kid. I don't know whose kid it was, but he had like fire red hair, and he was like a little bit older, and he was talking like, well, I'm not hitting it very well this time, but next year I'm going to do better. And like, it was so cute. Like
oh my gosh.
He sounded like he was trying to like be so adult. It was adorable. So I thought that whole thing was really a night. I had not seen that before, or maybe if I had, I just didn't remember it. I think this year it was especially cute.
Yeah. I saw this reel of this woman kind of reenacting watching the Masters.
Yeah.
And I feel like she encapsulated every woman in America watching the Masters, because she was like acting like as if she was crying when Rory was crying. And then she was talking, she was like, oh my gosh, is that his wife? She's so pretty.
Yeah,
and then she was like judging the relationships, like the level of closeness of the relationships that Rory had with every man as he was hugging them.
So here, you know what I thought in that moment? I swear to God, this is what I thought. I was like, I wish there was some commentator telling me who everybody is.
See, because
is that his mother? Is that his uncle?
The reel was this woman asking her husband these questions.
Yes.
And it was the subtext was like, ruining the Masters for my husband or something like that. It was like, wait, like, does he know that person?
But I did ask those questions, and Mike didn't know. He wasn't sure. I mean, he knew a couple of the people. I guess a couple of them were also golfers, but he gave this older woman a big hug. I was like, oh, is that his mother? Like, I want to know. Like, is it his mother, or is it his coach?
At first, she didn't seem that old to me.
The dark-haired woman?
I think that she was also a blonde. I'm like, wait.
No.
Is that his wife? Is that his wife?
The blonde with the hat was the wife.
Well, with the white, all white was his wife. Yes. But then there was another woman, and I was like, why did he hug her that long? Like, that was a little extra long. Like, I don't know. I was just dissecting. I was just like, was that his sister?
No. So I know. I wanted to know all because I know I don't watch golf on the regular, and it's usually on in the background. I'm doing other things. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So but I did like the whole, I liked all of it.
Yeah.
I really thought it was.
Yeah. The end's the best part for me.
Oh my God, right?
So John was explaining to me how a few of those guys are on the PGA Tour together.
Yes.
So
yes.
John was like Rory got really excited when he saw this one guy, and they were like hugging and doing like this handshake or whatever. And he's like, that's so-and-so, like they're on the tour together. And it didn't click in my head that they were on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I was like, what tour?
So
I'm like, who's singing? I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's what they call it. But I also believe that Rory has been after this Masters jacket because he's won all the other Masters.
No,
he hasn't.
Rory does not have a green jacket.
No, I know. That's my point. So, but he's won the other one. So this was like the last one.
You're right. Yes, you're right.
Kind of eluded him.
Yes.
So that is that the big story about it? Like came to me. It was really,
and you know what I saw at the end, and I didn't ask John this question. There was something, it was called, I remember seeing it on the TV. It was like Grand Slam, something or another. And I think there were 6 golfers up, and Rory was the last one. And before him was Tiger Woods. But the year on it was like 2000 something.
Well, yeah, I think that's
like 2002
if you
or something.
win every I guess Grand Slam, and this was like you've got like the U.S. Open, you've got
I get it.
all of those things.
Got it.
There are all these tournaments, and not very few people have won all of them.
I mean, there were only 6, I think, 5 or 6 that were on this screen.
So I believe that's what I mean. We could be sitting here talking and being like, that's wrong. But I think that's what I gathered.
Or we'll go back and fact check ourselves and be like, hey, we were right.
I feel like I'm half listening to some of this stuff all the time. And I'm like, and I get bits on the Today Show, or I'm cooking dinner and I'm hearing something, and I'll conjure things in my head a little bit. So I think that's correct, but I don't know. But yeah, so the Masters it was nice to have it on for me. And, you know, that's kind of show you can fall asleep and wake up and be like, okay.
It's also just really nice to see someone work so hard for something and then watch them achieve it. Like, I love that. It doesn't really matter what sport it is.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that's why I love the end so much of sporting events like that, because it's just,
yeah, I agree. I
can just relate. I just can relate to that. Cause I like to think that cheerleaders are athletes, so I like to think of myself as an athlete, at least growing up. And I know that you were too. And it's just, you work really hard at something, whether it's an individual sport or a team sport. Yeah. And it's just, I just love it.
Yeah. It's such a reward. So I think that was great. What else happened over the weekend for you? I know you're a mixologist this weekend.
Yeah. So back to just being exhausted. I wanted a martini so bad. I know you guys can see our sweatshirts. I know you saw my sweatshirt that I posted on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday at this point?
Well,
oh my gosh, all
Wednesday.
my days are running together. It was yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. It feels like it's been a week.
Yeah.
Like literally it feels like it's been 7 days since I bought this sweatshirt. It's been 24 hours. Okay. So I was just craving a martini. I like it slightly dirty, just a little bit of olive juice.
Well, I think we had a conversation, and I was going out to dinner, and I think the conversation was, I'm like, I can't wait to get a martini, and you're like, I want one too. But you were home with Jackson and John, and so you weren't coming out with us. So it was like, oh my God, like we were talking about. I think we had a conversation. So you had made mention that you were going to make one.
I think I was already craving one. Let's tell the full story. Jen, all right. Jen, I'm seeing Jen earlier that day. Okay. This day of the week is Saturday. We've got our days straight. This is Saturday. All right. Start of the story right here. Saturday morning, I'm teaching in Baltimore. After I teach in Baltimore, I drive to Annapolis. I've got a private ride. I am elated, right? I'm so excited because this private ride is for a lacrosse team, the Arundel lacrosse team.
Arundel High School, yep.
They're the Wildcats. And I had about 18, 19, 20 girls in this class.
Yes.
It was so much fun. So Jen and I are cleaning up shop after this ride, and Jen turns to me and she's like, I almost got you a present, but it's sold out. And I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have to tell me what this present is, because I mean, come on, like how are you just going to tell me? So, she shows me what it is, and I come to find out that Kate Spade did a collaboration with Target, and what she shows me is absolutely adorable. And I kind of just forget that she was going to get me this nice present since it's sold out, and I don't think I'm going to get it. So we part ways, and I go home, and
I had errands to run. I had a bunch of stuff I had to go do.
Yeah, it was still Saturday. I'm questioning in my head.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I get this text from Jen. Hey, are you home? I'm like, she went to Target and she found it, and she wants to.
She knew it.
And I'm like, yes, I'm home. Why? Oh, I have a present for Jackson. I'm like, yeah, right. You don't have no present for Jackson.
Yes, I did.
So yes, of course she had a present for Jackson, but she comes over and, we're hanging out for a little bit, and she's telling me her plans for the night. And I think maybe I was inspired by how you wanted a martini, but I also wanted one, but I was convinced that I could make one just as good myself and enjoy it on my couch. Like, I just didn't want to go out.
Did you may have asked me, you may have said, what are you going to have? Like, or what are you going to get to drink? Or I don't know why, because we did talk about it.
Yeah. I think I was asking just because I wanted to kind of live vicariously through you.
I think so too. Like, I was like, oh, I think I want a, dirty martini, those blue cheese olives. I hope they have
but
them.
I wasn't
something
asking because I wanted to go out. Like, I genuinely wanted to be on my couch.
No, I know that.
But I feel like when I set my mind on something, and you know this about me, when I set my mind on something, I am going to achieve it. And that night, it was making a martini just as good as a $20 one would.
Well, let me tell you what,
at the bar.
And when my martini was terrible. I had probably one of the worst martinis I've had. It came out and it was like warm. Like, ew. It was like it's been sitting on my counter for half an hour. So yours was better.
John takes Jackson and I to Fresh Market. he gets us, we get like a steak dinner, all the things. And I go to the olive bar, I get my olives, we get the blue cheese. You had made mention that the blue cheese needs to be soft. So I'm literally feeling all the blue cheeses in the cheese section. I forget what.
Not like super soft, but soft, like
it was
moldable.
Soft enough where I could just put it in a Ziploc baggie and like pipe it out. I got so excited about making my own blue cheese olives. I just decided to document the experience naturally.
Yeah.
And so I made this little reel, and I didn't even make it with intention of posting it. Like, I didn't have any makeup on. I was just trying to be funny, and I made it to put it together to send to you.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yeah.
But I also put it up on my stories.
Yeah.
Just because it was funny, and I had also drank the martini, so I was a little drunk. So I was like, let me just post it to my stories because this is hilarious. Like, there's one part in the video where I literally stick my face in front of the camera to like check that there's no like fingerprints on it. Come to find out, that story, so many people commented on it.
Isn't that funny?
When
you don't expect it.
So many, to the point where I had saved it, and I'm like, let me just post it as a reel.
Yeah.
And then it was a successful one, which is just, it's funny how that just works out because I was just having so much fun doing that.
I mean, you really did a good job at it, because even when I got it when I was in the car still, and I started laughing out loud. Mike was like, what are you looking at? I was like, I was just Jacqueline making her blue cheese stuffed olive martini. And I'm like, at the same time, like, and I'm sure it was better than the one I had. I'm like, because it
was pretty good. It was the olives needed to be saltier, I will say. And do you think the olives that we had today at Shop Tank, do you think that they were canned?
Well, I think that they are like a jarred. I don't think canned, but I do think maybe in a jar.
Because the blue cheese was like cut so perfect.
Yeah, I think the blue cheese was a little bit more rigid.
It still tasted good though.
Yeah, it did. But it was also a really good martini.
So good.
The combination of
my gosh, it was so good. I couldn't taste any alcohol.
Yeah. That was a little dangerous.
So good. I mean, that was a good one.
Yep.
So,
and I learned something. If you order a martini, you should order it bruised. Have you heard this term?
No, so you just told me about it.
So bruised is when you shake that martini so hard that it ends up getting almost like little ice flecks in it. It gets that cold. So I learned that. And because obviously the one I got was not cold.
It was not bruised.
So I tried to get a bruised one, but
I noticed you haven't posted your Barbie yet.
I just haven't gotten to it. It's terrible. I know. I am such a slacker. Like I've been meaning to. Is it too late now?
No, I don't think it's too late. And I don't think
Jacqueline made me a Barbie.
I did make you a Barbie. And when Jen says you made me a Barbie, I made her a Barbie with a prompt on Chat GPT.
Well, that's okay. I was going to do it, and I was like, oh, God, this seems like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And even Ryan complimented me really on my Barbie, and he was like, I have no idea. Like, you have a lot of patience, because I tried to do it, and I have no idea how you, got it the way that you got it. And I was like, honestly.
Well, I have to say, I sat down for a second and I was like, no, I don't have time. I'm too tired, or I have a lot of work to do. I've got something.
For those of you that are listening and you're like, what the heck are they talking about with Barbie? So there is this viral trend going on right now. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Barbie doll. Some folks are recreating themselves as an action figure. And what they're doing is they're putting in this prompt into Chat GPT, and you can ask Chat GPT,
Chat GPT
to turn you into a doll. But I will say you have to be super specific that you don't want it to be like a realistic person. You want it to
look like a Barbie.
Exactly. Because I had to modify my prompts many a times. And even when I posted my Barbie, I let everybody know, you have to be super patient, because ChatGPT got real mad at me.
Yep.
They were like, we can't.
You and I went back and forth quite a bit on that. And you're like, how about this one? I'm like, no.
And Jenny also asked me, as we were prepping for this episode, she's like, did you have to pay for ChatGPT? Yes, I got the, not the Pro version.
The Plus.
The Plus.
Yeah. Pro's $200 a month.
Pro's $200 a month.
You better be a pro.
I did not need a Barbie doll that bad, but I did need it. I did need it enough to pay $20. So I paid the $20. And what that means is I, at first, could only, because I tried it like probably 24 hours before I actually made the Barbie for myself and for Jen and I. And then ChatGPT was like, you have run out of time. Like you have you can't upload another picture to use for another 24 hours. And I was like, well, what the heck?
Or it would stop uploading and all of a sudden like get rid of it.
That's because like the brain behind ChatGPT was like, wait a second, I'm not allowed to do this. Like there was one set of Jen and I that was loading and it would load and then like I could see our faces. There was one and I think that the ones that we posted ended up being just as good. But I remember seeing our faces and I'm like, oh, I've hit the jackpot. Like this is about to be the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then ChatGPT is like, nope, that does not meet like our criteria. Like that goes against
what is that criteria?
And I think it was the wording that I used in my prompt.
Oh, that's so crazy.
The exact wording that I used for the prompt that made my Barbie, I shared it with whoever wanted it. So if you guys want the prompt, because that's the most annoying part is putting that prompt together. It's very time consuming. I
think that's great. Well, the Barbies did turn out really amazing. I love the two of them together. I thought that was really cute.
So
Yours
cute.
was super cute. I love mine. So I'll post
think we
mine.
need some spin cycle merch to match our Barbies.
We can get that. I know a guy.
I love that you know a guy.
Yeah. So I'll post it. I'll post it on all the things. You'll see it. So it's super cute. So thank you, Jacqueline.
What are you
I
posting?
love it. My Barbie.
Oh, got it.
She's got to regulate when I'm posting. Tell me exactly what you're going to put out there.
I will say there are a lot of really great trends, like a lot of great reel trends out there right now that
we were making a reel the other day. Did you make it? Did we ever make it?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
But we're having a lot of fun over here. It's just a great time to be alive around these parts. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. The one I thought I saw something, but then I was like, that's not.
Well,
that.
I did make a reel about our sweatshirts.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So what's happening at Tribe?
So this morning, one of the fun things I did during jury duty was put together the Coachella graphic. We have Coachella rides coming in Friday morning, both studios, Baltimore and Annapolis. So you and Silva in Annapolis, Ryan and I in Baltimore.
That's right.
So for those of you that aren't familiar with Coachella, it is a festival that happens every year in California, right? It's happening in California.
Wow.
Yes, thumbs up. We're getting thumbs up.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, then all of a sudden I started thinking, because I know it was in like the desert, kind of like Burning Man, right? But palm desert.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that explains all the palm trees.
Well, so it's 2 weekends, right? It was last weekend and this weekend.
Yep.
So what I did here, though, I mean, I don't know if you all heard this either, but apparently it was a big debacle. Did you hear this? I did. 12 hours people were waiting in the car.
That's insane.
To get to park. And it was 102 degrees.
That's insane.
Like 12 hours? That's not all right.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like someone's not doing their job right.
Somebody messed up. They were comparing it to that fire festival that was supposed to take place on some island, I think near Mexico or something.
I would be beyond. Like, could you imagine if we bought the plane tickets, bought the concert tickets,
rented a
hotel, rented a car, and then we had to sit in said rental car for an entire day?
In 100 degrees, so you can't turn your car off.
No, you can't.
Do you run out of gas? Like,
and hopefully, like your car's like in proper working order. Because I've had some cars where I'm sitting still. Well, if you're sitting still, you're not moving the car to generate that energy to make the cool air. So sometimes a car could. Like,
I don't know how that.
If you're a car person,
I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't hear anything else other than that. So I know a lot of people were like pretty irritated over the weekend. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
I would be like.
Great artists, though. at Coachella.
So Lady Gaga, Missy Elliott, Benson Boone, Charlie XCX, Green Day, Post Malone, Meg Thee Stallion, Zedd. And those are all the folks that are like in like the
headliners,
big bold print, which are the headliners. Yeah. So the Gatox girl from White Lotus.
Yep. I don't know her
Who
name.
is she? She's not Jenny. She's Lisa. I think she's just Lisa. In
she
all
is
caps.
Lisa. Yep.
So she's when Lady Gaga and Missy Elliott, Benson Boone are. It's just Lisa.
You just told me that today. I didn't know that she was a pop star.
Apparently Jenny was telling us that she is that much of a pop star that she almost didn't take that's crazy that she didn't take the job because she was going to need a lot of security. But then she was like, Well,
now everybody knows her. I mean, if you didn't know her before, you now know her, right?
Yeah, but I just know her as like a mean girl.
Yeah.
She was just mean to Gabe.
I want to hear her sing now. Like, I'm curious, is she any good?
I don't know.
I'm surprised they didn't have her singing on the show. She was just dancing.
She was just dancing. That's true.
You know, remember? Did
we ever hear that one guy sing? Because the whole time he's like...
Yes, he sang.
He wasn't very good, was he?
No.
That's funny. That's funny.
But so Coachella, we're going to have themed rides this Friday. And then we have 2 theme rides. So I've come in for the pinch hit here Friday night.
You guys, I am so excited for this Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus ride. So every month Jen sends out the schedule, and each instructor who has a Friday night is responsible for coming up with their theme rides. We don't make the theme rides. Each instructor comes up with their own themes. And I think it was a month or maybe 2 or 3 months ago, probably the beginning of the year, Sam and I are talking about doing a Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus ride. And that was the product of another conversation with like front desk or some clients. And we're just like, oh my gosh, that'd be so much fun. So Sam has this Friday night ride, and she texts me and she's like, hey, like, what do you think about doing like this Hannah Montana? And
I think didn't it come around because you have the bangs? You bought the bangs.
I think that the conversation happened before I got the bangs.
Oh,
or maybe you're right. Maybe
it prompted it. Maybe
maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
Like Hannah Montana or something. I don't know, something like that.
So Sam just has a lot going on at work right now, and she sent me a text message. She's like, do you mind just like teaching without me? I'm like, of course I don't mind, no big deal. And then all of a sudden my eyes widen. I'm like, wait, I know somebody that might be free Friday night. Right. That would make a great Miley Cyrus.
I was like, oh, great.
Insert.
So, but here's a question. So, and you cannot answer this. Here's my question. And I really do want a little feedback because I need to know. First of all, I never watched Hannah Montana. I don't know anything Hannah Montana sings. So clearly I don't want to teach Hannah Montana because I don't know her. However, I do know Miley Cyrus. But the question I have is this. Are you expecting the Miley Cyrus from that era, like the Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus? Or do you want to hear Miley Cyrus, any Miley Cyrus song? So that's my question. And we've had a discussion about it. We're not sure because it is Hannah Montana Miley from the show. So we'll see. But I want you to give us feedback and let me know what you think I should do.
I think I know the answer to the question, but I'm not going to answer the question because you told me not to answer the question.
No, can't answer it. That's leading.
So 1 week from Sunday, we have our free
no wonder
charity
you weren't
rides.
picked on the jury. I mean, come on.
I didn't hear what you just said. All I heard was jury.
I said, no wonder they didn't pick you on the jury.
They didn't pick anyone, Jen. They didn't need a jury today.
Whatever.
Rude. Even if that was true, I would totally be fine with it. I was not trying to be on the jury.
All right. Anyway, so that's Friday night. It's waitlisted. It is waitlisted. Yeah.
The Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus, so this is why I think I know the answer to the question that you just asked. I mean, this is the deepest I've ever seen a wait list, at least in recent history. There are 15 riders on this wait list. And that was as of this morning when I was doing jury duty and I was looking at the class. It might even be more.
And that might even be the cap of what we can hold on a wait list.
I was talking to one of my Baltimore classes a few days ago, and I had no idea. Like, it even goes back to like the Jonas Brothers ride. My Jonas Brothers ride was super successful. I love it because it's my fellow millennials. Like, it just makes me so happy. Like, Jonas Brothers, Hannah Montana, like those are like, that's my jam. But at the same time, I wasn't like in it. Like, so I'm going to be 36 this year. So that Hannah Montana, like, I wasn't.
Did you watch that show?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I went and I saw the movie in theaters. Like,
you didn't watch the show, but you watched the movie.
Because I wasn't.
Odd.
Let me explain this. So my jam when I was in high school was Laguna Beach.
Sure. Okay.
Laguna Beach and American Idol. I remember watching those two shows when I was in high school. And White Chicks. We still need to watch that movie.
Yes.
The White Chicks was just a huge inside joke between my girlfriends and I when I was in high school. So, but Hannah Montana, so when I was younger, like when I was in middle school, maybe even like
what year was Hannah Montana?
Fourth, I guess. No, now that I'm thinking about it, I think like fourth, fourth and fifth grade. I remember coming home from school and doing my homework to like Sister Sister. I was watching Sister Sister. I was watching S Club 7.
What year was this?
So I graduated in 2007. If I'm 10, it's year 2000. So in like 1999, 1998, I was in like fourth and fifth grade.
Okay. Well, that explains it.
So I feel like a lot of folks, so Hannah Montana was on the Disney Channel. So that's probably what everyone was watching when they got home from school. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I wasn't watching the Disney Channel like that. I also didn't have the Disney Channel before the year 2001. In 2001, we moved and my parents got DirecTV, and it was like, is that when she came out?
Hannah Montana was 2007? 6.
Hannah Montana came out in 2006? So I was 16. So I never.
You were too old.
Yeah.
You were too old for that.
But I have a feeling that a good amount of our riders are younger than me. So it's like hitting like right.
Yeah, that was really popular with that.
Yeah. But I will say I absolutely love.
Which is funny because for me, you know, obviously I was definitely way older, but then even my kids were too young. So they were too young to be watching it.
But I got the hype because I worked at Bath and Body Works. Right across from Bath and Body Works in the Westminster Town Mall was Claire's. And Claire's, I mean, there was Hannah Montana, everything at Claire's. Sure. So like I saw it. I saw the marketing. I saw it all.
Yeah.
I could feel it. And I did watch a few episodes because it's like, okay, what am I missing out on? But it just wasn't. I was 16 years old.
And for me as an adult who wasn't watching it, but I knew all about it because I heard all about it and I saw all the hype about it, like on the news and all the things. But it was also a Disney show that, you know, I was not something I was interested in, but you know, you saw the writing on the wall. You knew, you know, who her dad was and you knew all these things coming up.
I will say what got me with the Miley Cyrus or the Hannah Montana movie is Taylor Swift wrote a song for it. And that's what got me.
Oh, really?
I was like, yeah.
Was she popular at that point?
She wasn't the most famous person on the planet at the point, but she was on her way.
Right. That's interesting. Well, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I love Miley Cyrus. I mean, I think she's a great artist.
Well, I've always loved Dolly Parton, and Dolly Parton is Miley's godmother.
Yeah.
And Dolly makes a guest appearance in Hannah Montana.
Oh yeah.
So I remember watching that show just because Dolly was on it, and it also was just a feel good show, and it was funny. And I did have some girlfriends that were obsessed with Hannah Montana, and of course I had FOMO. They're like, "Did you see this episode? Did you see this episode?" I'm like, "No." But now I have to because you enjoy it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is going to be so great.
It will be fun regardless of the songs and all. I mean,
don't get me wrong. I mean, I may pass the boat for watching Hannah Montana after school, but I'm about to get down with the get downs. I mean, now that I think about it, my girlfriends and I, there's this one song that Miley Cyrus sings, and it's called GNO. Do you know what GNO stands for?
I think you told me something. You made mention of this earlier.
Do you know what GNO stands for?
Is it the hoedown? The get down?
No.
Oh, okay.
GNO.
No.
GNO stands for Girls Night Out.
Okay.
So my girlfriends and I, like during the latter half of like high school, like going into like college, we would call like our like let's have a GNO, and we would start singing this song. But that's Miley Cyrus. It's not Hannah Montana.
Oh, so I better write that down.
I'll help you.
GNO.
GNO.
I'm down for a GNO.
I'm always down for a GNO.
Yeah, GNOs are fun.
I feel like we're having a GNO right now.
It's been a long day of GNO.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, more about, I feel like we just keep getting busier.
I don't know what's happening. Like, I agree. Like, it keeps coming and it doesn't ever stop or slow down.
And we're not complaining. We are not complaining in any way, shape, or form. Like, it makes me so happy. It truly does make me so happy. And Jen, you know, she'll be hard at work on her computer behind her desk, and I'll just look at her and I'll just be like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all the things. Like, I'm just so excited. And what I'm about to share about my excitement is instructor auditions coming in.
Mm-hmm. This is actually so exciting. I agree.
It really just does make me so excited. And I just think about how grateful I am to be a part of it. Like, I take myself back and I put myself in position of someone who is an aspiring spin instructor. And it's like, I was once in that position, but now I'm not only on the other side, like I not only am on the roster, but I get to sit next to you.
Yep.
And, help facilitate it. And it I don't know, it gives me like butterflies in my stomach. It makes me really excited.
I mean, it's exciting. We posted about instructor auditions, which is always exciting. It's a little always nerve-wracking because I'm like, well, what if nobody wants to work here? I don't know.
Not the case.
No, definitely. We got a great turnout, which was so exciting to me. And a lot of people I had already known that were interested because they'd already reached out to us. But now it's organized, and so we had a Google form that Jacqueline put together for us to get to know you a little bit better, which was so helpful. I loved that. And so we've got a bunch of people who are interested and a lot of great candidates. And we're going to bring them in next weekend, right?
Yeah. So the application is open for you to submit up until, I would say, Friday. We're going to keep it open until Friday.
Yep,
Friday's date is the 25th. So not the date of the Hannah Montana ride, not the 18th. So 1 week from Friday. So you still have about a week and a half.
Yeah.
And what the caveat here is with this specific instructor audition is that we're only looking for candidates that are available during our mid-morning classes, 7:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. in Annapolis, and our 8 a.m. time slot in Baltimore. And we have had some folks reach out that are potentially interested about being instructors in the future, but they don't have that availability, and they want to set up some time outside of those auditions, those auditions, to maybe get some feedback from us. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, you can also reach out to us too. I think that that's a really great opportunity, especially if, you want to hear.
It will never hurt.
Get that experience.
To fill out the form too, because then we have it on record, and then we know that you're interested. So I definitely recommend filling out that the Google form, and you can mention that you don't have availability at that time, but you just wanted us to know that you're interested when other things open, and they always open. So just know that. Sometimes we'll add classes, or people get married, have babies. I mean, there's decide to go move or work somewhere else. it's the way things work. So it's so fluid. And if this is something that you have ever thought about or would like to try, it's the time. Yeah. I mean, and for this go round, for sure, I mean, we're only hiring one, potentially two, depending on what happens. One, definitely, we need somebody, because Jacqueline and I, and, you know, we've got some changes happening at Tribe. So we do need help during those time slots for sure.
Yeah. We just had an instructor or two that their work schedule allowed them to cover those mid-morning classes. And now their work schedule starting in, I would say, May. Yeah. So May, Jen and I are going to taking care of business.
Yeah.
But we can only do it for so long. So that's why we're hiring for that spot, because those 1 to 2 instructors, their main work schedule has just changed, and that's where the need is. So that's the why behind needing those specific times. And we're excited.
Yeah, May's coming in hot. I mean, we're showing at end of April.
I was waiting for you to say like an animal.
Yeah,
May's coming in like a what? Well, and leaving like a what?
Well, yeah, right. No, but April, at the end of April, we're coming in. Probably that's where the hotness starts. Right? We have our Parkinson's ride. Our pedal for Parkinson's is on Sunday.
And that's the same day as our instructor auditions.
April 27th. Are we having auditions on the Saturday as well?
Yes.
Maybe a couple on Saturday.
If you filled out that form, I have heard from a few folks that are not available that weekend, and we're going to work with you and make sure that we get you in. But we really would like to see everybody, as many folks as we can, on that same day. It's just going to streamline it and make it a lot easier and administratively feasible for the two of us to do them all as most as we can on the same day.
Definitely. So that's happening the weekend of the 26th, 27th. And the 27th is our Parkinson's ride. Both 9:15, 10:30 classes. They're free. We just ask for donations. Everything's going back to bring awareness to Parkinson's. And we're going to donate to some charities that give back to like the Michael J. Fox organization, and then some local Parkinson's places here in town. So it's waitlisted. They're both waitlisted.
They're both waitlisted. And with that being said, if you are on the wait list, stay on the wait list. Things happen all the time. They are going to be outside, weather permitting. And
yes.
I don't think they're labeled that they're outside right now.
No.
And there are some folks who do not like to ride outside. So if you like to ride outside, just get on the wait list. It filters through. Things happen, things come up. You just never know. So
for sure,
if you want to be there, also just come and hang out. It's going to be a party.
It is going to be a party. Mike's going to be cooking egg sandwiches, I think is what he was going to do.
They were so good.
They were good last time.
They were so good. Like to the point where I try to mimic what he did with the eggs. Like he puts the cheese down first.
I don't know.
In the skillet. And then he puts the egg over. I was watching him do it.
Really? I never watched him.
It was so good. What?
No.
He doesn't make you like egg sandwiches on the weekend?
No. I mean, I guess if I asked him to, he would.
I mean, they were good. They were good.
Yeah. He does like to make them all the time.
They kind of taste a little unhealthy. I might be putting too much cheese down and then my egg to the point where, but the cheese gets like burnt a little bit.
He does make a good sandwich. So he's going to be making breakfast for everybody. And we've got a cold plunge coming.
Yep.
That's amazing. Yep. So, McBride family is going to be in the house with us with that. Do you know what a cold plunge is?
So I want to call it the Paradise Brothers. So I'm going to be making a reel and advertising more about this cold plunge. But Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's the cold bucket challenge.
Yes. So did you see? Oh, no. Oh,
you still have to do that, don't you?
No, I had 24 hours to do it. You didn't see that I did it. I did it. I filmed myself. I put it up on my Instagram. I nominated you.
What?
Yeah. Because, I was staying there and I was like, I don't know who to nominate. And everyone was like, well, you have to nominate Jen. And I was like,
what?
Well, in my head, I was like,
when did you do it? Do I only have 24 hours?
It's long gone. It's long
past.
Expired. Yeah, it's expired.
That's terrible. You should have told me. I would have done it.
I know you would have done it, but at the time you were teaching a double and you wouldn't have been, you weren't going to go into a class soaking wet. Like it just, you know,
I would have.
well, I also nominated Ryan and Bridget and I didn't see them do it either. So,
well, I would have done it if I would have seen it.
I know you would have. I know you would have.
Nobody
everyone's
told
like, well,
me.
you have to nominate Jen. And I'm like, she really doesn't want to do this. Like,
I don't mind.
I know you're always down for the get downs, but if I was thinking about it from the 24-hour perspective, I just didn't know when in that 24 hours you were going to be able to do it. That's all.
I would squeeze it in.
I mean, I can pour a bucket of ice water over your head right now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Feels pretty good. I'll have to show you my video. It was really funny.
So cold plunge is like you actually get into like a bin of icy water for 3 minutes.
I have to stay in there for 3 minutes.
I think it's a 3-minute situation.
Michelle McBride DM'd me after I posted that video of that ice bucket challenge. And she's like, that's going to be nothing compared to the cold plunge. I was like, yeah, I know.
So we're going to be doing that at the Parkinson's ride. So we're definitely going to have a party. So please come and just hang out if you want. My dad and mom are going to show up as long as everybody's feeling up for it. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I'm really excited about it. So thank you everybody for your support as always.
I'm excited. So speaking of May, we have 2 exciting dates. I know I told one of my classes the other night, I was so excited about solidifying these dates coming in, but we have the return of our Wayward Ride in Fed Hill. I feel like every time we take the bikes out in Annapolis, all the folks from Baltimore are like, when are you taking the bikes out in Baltimore? Well, here it comes. We're going to be taking the bikes to the Wayward Bar in Fed Hill. It's a country bar. It's actually an Alabama bar. And I'm really excited because Mackenzie is coming home early May and she's scheduled to work. She goes to Alabama. Mackenzie is on our front desk staff. She currently goes to Alabama and she's going to be home.
So that's on the 24th, Saturday. I'm trying to keep all my dates correct. It's on the 24th. We, nail that down. As long as it doesn't rain, that is when we're gonna do it. If it does rain, we will have a rain date. They're really flexible. It may not be that next day. It may have to be in June sometime. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear.
But we're just gonna manifest really good weather. It's Memorial Day weekend, and it's gonna be a party.
Yes, it's going to be.
I just can't wait.
And then our second ride, Annapolis, our Rock the Dock is coming back. So. They're going to be doing construction down at the city dock downtown. However, I think it's it's not going to be started until maybe right after this, or they're starting it, but we're still available to use the dock. So I am just finishing up getting all that permit set. And as of right now, tentatively, the 5th, Thursday night, 2 classes, 5:15, 6:30 is our plan. So mark your calendars when those bikes go live for you to grab your bike.
I can't wait.
Yeah, this will be fun. I mean, we've done this a lot of years now. So it is always a fan favorite. And when it's a nice day out, man.
This will be my fourth year.
Yeah. So it's been a lot. So, and everybody loves it. And it's always so fun to see all the boats. And I like doing it in the evening too, because especially on a Thursday evening, because people are out and about at the restaurants and walking around, and there's just a lot more energy at that time versus like an early morning on a Saturday or Sunday. So, yeah. So that's coming up. Exciting.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So excited. So I wanted to take it back to a question that we received from a rider. I know we received a few questions, I want to say a little over a month ago at this point. Some were anonymous, some were from riders. And this one I know we talked about a little bit in our last episode, not our White Lotus recap episode, but the episode before that. I think it was episode 11. And this specific question, are you ready for it?
I am.
So this question, how to navigate your late 20s, early 30s if you aren't where you thought you would be?
Yeah. I mean, that's a question, huh? Like,
my wine glass is empty.
Want some of my wine?
If you're not going to drink it.
I mean, I'll share it. How about I just pour some in your wine glass? So that's a question, right? Like what I can say is, for me, in my experience and what I've lived through, I mean, you can't compare yourself to other people. And I think that's where it maybe starts. You're always looking at where everybody else is in their life, and you've decided that's where you need to be. So I think you really do need to stop and not worry about what everybody else is doing and just focus on you and how you want to get there. And make a plan. And you have to be flexible and willing to pivot if you need to pivot, because things will not go your way. Inevitably, it never, ever works the way you think it's going to work. So you just have to be patient and give yourself a little bit of grace. That's my opinion, and my 2 cents. I can certainly tell you in my 20s and 30s, things didn't happen exactly like I thought they were going to work out. And I hate to tell you, your 40s and so far in my 50s, they sure as hell are not working out like that either. So it keeps on going. But you know what? You just have to live in the moment, be present in the moment, and enjoy life and be happy and find yourself surrounded by friends and family who lift you up and fill your cup. Because otherwise, you know what I mean? You're not going to be happy, and you'll be very critical. What do you think, Jacqueline?
I mean, I feel like I feel this question to my core. And I know who this question came from. And I feel like I talk about how we're all at on our own timelines and at specific points in our own timelines during class every so often. And I feel like I was once someone who felt like they weren't where they were supposed to be in their late 20s, early 30s. I met my now husband when I was 23 years old, and I thought that I was going to marry him at 27, and I thought I was going to have 3 to 4, maybe 5 kids by the time I was 32. There was I'm not even joking. There was once a time where I thought that I wanted 5 kids. Like I thought that was going to be my jam. And I also will say, like, there was a part of me, like I went through figuring out who I am and what I wanted. And that happened in my late 20s, early 30s. Like I found tribe when I was 31.
2? Yeah.
31. 31.
I don't. That's hard math.
I'm pretty sure I was 31.
You're going to be 36.
32, 33, 34, 35. Maybe I was 32. Regardless. So, and it didn't, at the time when I had met him, it came from social media, but it also came from my family. I got this big corporate job and I was so excited about it, but I was excited about it because my mom and dad were excited about it. So you constantly have these people that are looking at you that think you're doing such a great job because you're doing what society wants you to do. And, it's all about exactly what you just said, Jen, is making sure that you have the right people in your corner to lift you up and that you have the right relationships and friends in your life. Because when I discovered that being in the corporate world and having 5 kids was not what I wanted, because I didn't want to work and have someone else watch my kids, I came to the realization that I wanted to be able to stay at home with my kid. And, we don't have enough time in this episode for all the different things, but I do want to bring it back to 2 things that we've been talking about recently, and it's the White Lotus and the let them theory. So, and I'm bringing my phone up here if you're watching us on YouTube. So the last chapter that we were talking about with the let them theory was chapter 11. Mm-hmm. And chapter 11 is about the truth about adult friendships.
Yeah.
And just how important adult friendships are, and they are the most important when you're going through a transitional phase, or even if that transitional phase makes you feel like you're stuck. Like you might feel like you're stuck, but you're actually going through a very serious transition. It just doesn't look like it because it can't be glorified on social media. It's so personal and intimate that it's just, you can't even quantify it to share it with other people. And Carrie Coon's character on White Lotus, Laurie, she spent a lot of her time comparing herself to Jacqueline and Leslie Bibb's character. And she finally comes to this realization. And it was one of my most favorite parts of the entire season of White Lotus, was when she was like, I am so grateful that I have a friend that is so happy and is so beautiful. And I just feel so lucky to just be sitting at the same table with the two of them. Yeah. Because once you mature and realize that there is a grander plan for all of us, we're eventually going to all have that happiness. There's enough happiness in the world and enough success in the world for everyone to get at some point. We're just probably not all going to see it at the same exact time. And you need to see it from a different perspective to then one day be like, oh my gosh, like I'm at the same table as these women. And that is such a gift in and of itself. And I can only hope that these women are going to be sitting at the same table that I'm at when I'm seeing the same success that they are.
Yeah. I mean, I really do believe that this insight genuinely and truly comes with age. I just do. I think that you stop, living your life trying to keep up and comparing yourself to everybody all the time. So all of a sudden stepping back and just taking a breath and being like, oh, like, all right, here I am. Like, stop and look around and live and be happy. And it really is that. I remember you mentioning that whole part of the show immediately after it happened. You had said, wow, that was so impactful. And it was. And I think it's, it's hard for people to come to this realization in your 20s and 30s sometimes. Yeah. Not always. But I do think it's hard because you are coming up through the ranks of, like the Let Them theory, through high school, through college. So you're in these friend groups. And then all of a sudden in your 20s and 30s, you do have to sort of navigate life and find your people. Yeah. And you're not going to always all mesh. And then all of a sudden, things change and your life really becomes your life that you have to navigate through. And then it's your choice. So it always comes down to your choice of everything that you do in life. And it's also your choice to be happy. So, and I'm not saying that we can't all have really down times and struggle with things, because that's okay. And we're all human and we all live like that. However, you have to find the joy in every day, because you might not feel it, but it's there. And I say that every class. So, I mean, I think it was really impactful, that whole moment. And I do agree with that. And, I think you're right on. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't, it happened to me. Like, I found Tribe in my early 30s, and here I thought that I was going to be somewhere else.
In 5 kids later.
No way.
I mean, great for somebody. Right? I mean,
for someone, sure. Yeah. But, I feel like, I don't know. And I think I talked about it when we first started this podcast, just how when I found Tribe, it was almost like a magnet drawing me in. I'm calling John on the way home and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
Well, and I can say from a rider's perspective, I've heard a lot of it too. People have found Tribe and it's changed their lives, and not just the riding. Maybe it's the friendship. Maybe it's the community. Yeah. Maybe it's, maybe it's the connection of just finding themselves in that room and their power and their athleticism. Like, all these things can come about in that room, and it could have happened somewhere else too. Yeah. But maybe Tribe was the catalyst for that. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome in my view. I mean, let me tell you what, Tribe has changed my life. I had no idea how this would change my life when I started Tribe. I didn't even fathom what was coming. And it's really genuinely been amazing. And not to say there hasn't been some major ups and downs along the way, but I take them as all learning lessons, and how can I grow from them instead of letting them pull me down like an anchor. It's just life, and you have to figure that out.
Yeah. And I also want to point out, Mel Robbins, she didn't even start. I think she points it out in her book that she didn't get to where she was until she was in her 40s or 50s.
Yeah. Yes. Her 40s.
Yeah. So.
Cause she's my age.
It's not like we graduate high school and we have it all figured out. It's not like we graduate college and we have it all figured out. But I will say that I would not go back and change a thing about what has happened in my life. I just wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't be where I am right now if I changed anything about what's going on.
No, I think that's true for everybody. I mean, you really can't.
Like if you told me that I had to go back and I had to work at T. Rowe Price for 10 years to wind up exactly where I am, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just would. Like, okay.
That's right. Because you've learned so much along the way to be a good manager, time management, like all those things.
It was also fun. I was just able, I mean, there were some stressful times and there were some
you've
really
met some great friends,
well-deserved happy hours, but I met so many good
Carol,
friends.
Didn't you, one of your best friends there?
I met Carol at Bath and Body Works.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better.
Yeah. And same with Bath and Body Works. I just have always enjoyed every job that I've had.
Yeah.
Except, there was a huge pivot that happened when I found Tribe, and I was just like, wait a second, this is definitely not what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you just know.
You do. And I have to also say that if you think you're in something or doing something that is not right, stop it.
Right. Totally.
Turn around and go the other way.
Totally.
You just have to, life is way too short to stay in something that does not bring you joy or you're not happy doing, or you're not surrounded with people that make you feel good about all the things. So, that's some advice I would say, take that, because your life, you don't want to be stuck in a position or a situation where you're just going through the motions. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So long story short, it's all about who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Agreed. We'll get a little clap. Yay. Oh my gosh.
All right.
So that was our big question. So we're about done, but we want to just let's talk about one more thing, because I think we need to. Last week, I'm sure you all heard, and I think there might have been a Instagram stuff going on. Morgan. Did we talk about Morgan?
No. We haven't talked about. We literally have not talked about this.
But it was on Instagram, right? A little bit.
I don't think I put it on Spin Cycles.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I don't think I put any of it up because I wanted to wait for this moment.
Oh, all right. So here it is. So one of our instructors, Morgan, he texted everybody in the group chat. Hey, what did he say? Like,
he didn't say anything. He just sent a
photo of this little canvas bag from Trader Joe's. Now, if anybody remembers, this canvas bag was so popular. Oh, no. No, he just posted a
Jenny,
picture.
thanks for getting on Hinge tonight.
No. So he posted this picture of this canvas bag that was went viral last time. The last time they had them, they were different colors, they're more fall colors. It went viral. People were buying them. Then they sold out. Then people were selling them on eBay for $100. They're $3 canvas bags. So I'd heard about it and I promptly forgot about it. But later on, I was like, oh my God, I wish I would have gotten one of those bags. So he sends us a picture and I text him back, where are you? Because it looked like he was in some kind of warehouse. So I was like, did he get some in at some warehouse for these bags? He's like, in Annapolis. I'm like, you're at Trader Joe's in Annapolis? I was like, I am on my way. I was out of my house I was almost getting ready to go out of my house anyway, but I fire under my butt.
You guys, she is not exaggerating in any way, shape, or form. I'm on the same chat. I respond at the exact same time with not where are you, which one? Just which one. So literally, Jen either calls me or I call her like less than 5 minutes later, and I can literally hear the car in the background. I was in the car. And I start busting out laughing. I'm like, you've left your house already. Mind you, I got off the phone with her probably 10 minutes before because we're conjoined twins kind of situation.
She was like poking at Jackson to wake up, I think. Come on, we gotta go get to bed.
But no, it actually worked out very well because I checked the baby monitor and he was awake and I was like, God is watching us from a distance.
Oh, you're such a good singer.
I know. I'm like,
he heard us talking about the bag.
Let's go. So I get him. We go to Trader Joe's. She gets her bags.
I already got my bag. So I got in there and I of course I like run in like there's like, you know, everybody's gonna be grabbing them. It wasn't that crazy, but there were people definitely grabbing them. So I texted her. I was like, you don't have to hurry that fast because they're not flying off the shelf. But I got 2 of every color and I left. And then you showed up after me. I had to go somewhere else, I think. So you must have gone and then left. And then
I did not get 2 of every color. I knew that I wanted to do a little something special for the spin cycle. I knew that I wanted one myself. And then I got like a couple others just to like have.
So like, I also knew that
other people.
So we are giving them away. Well, we have 2 in Annapolis and 2 in Baltimore that I've now filled with.
It dawned on Jen that she wanted to use these bags as the Easter baskets for our Easter basket giveaway.
Right.
For Easter.
Yes. So I'd purchased these little baskets and they were, you know, nothing special. So I was like, oh my God, let's use these bags. So I've since then now, 2 are in Baltimore, 2 in Annapolis. They're filled with candy and a bunny, like a chocolate bunny, and tribe socks, little giveaway things.
I think you've left out the funniest part of this story.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
And then and in each basket is a 3-class pack for you to use or give away. So yeah. So anyway, we got the bags and I was like, okay, this is successful. Do you want to?
Is it now my time?
Yeah,
is it? Do you want to?
No, you can.
All
Is
right.
it because we went back?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody's talking.
Our instructor group chat is blowing up. It is blowing up. I'm going to share the video after this because it's hilarious. Like people wanted to know the size of it. I'm trying to feed Jackson at the same time as like I'm showing the instructors how like mini this tote is, and just everyone's just like so excited about it. And I'm shocked at how excited everyone is about it. And then people are sending me reels of them and I'm like, oh, like I'm extremely overwhelmed, extremely overstimulated. It is like Trader Joe's canvas tote, like has just exploded in my brain.
And all of a sudden it's like,
all of a sudden
gotta have them.
Jen is driving back to the Trader Joe's to get more totes.
I'm like,
she's driving. And then I'm
that
literally sitting at my house, filming myself for the instructors to show them the size of the tote, the dimension, all the, I'll show you in a bit. And then I'm like, I think I need more pink totes. I think I need more. I think we're gonna need more totes.
Yeah.
Pulled her in reversed her out,
and
met her at Trader Joe's.
I was like, I'm going back.
And then we get there, and we're like, well, they might recognize us, so we need a disguise because you're only allowed to buy 2 of each color. That's it. That's all you're allowed.
I feel like I got bad karma because I literally I changed my outfit. I put on a hat. I almost
changed Jackson. I got this close to changing Jackson.
Sunglasses.
I'm not even kidding. I put on a different coat. Jackson was wearing the same thing. And I was like, do I need to change him? Because he like looks the same.
But I think I started carrying him at one point. It's like, I'll carry him. He won't recognize me in this outfit. Like I had glasses on and I was like, and I tried to stuff my hair down my jacket. So it
looked like what a bob.
So I had a bob.
Oh, that's a fun little experiment.
I always
How
had
would
a
I
bob.
look with a bob?
This is me with Bob.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, we look alike.
I don't mind a bob. I grew up with a bob. But anyway, we get off track. So I go in, and I swear to God, I go grab more totes because I need more for some reason. I'm about to just give them away now, which I gave them to my mom. I gave them to my mom's nurse, and my friends, my sisters. I've given a lot away. However, so I got more totes, and I'm in line, and I see this lady that I know,
Jen Fluencer over here.
She's in the line next to me, and I'm like, "Hi!" From my kids were in school. I recognize her, and I'm like, "Oh, hi!" And there's a lady in front of us, and I go, "Did you get a bag?" She goes,
"She's literally influencing," and
she's like,
in line.
"No, but I feel like I have to."
We literally have our bag. I have a kid.
I got all my
Jackson's in one arm. I have all these totes in my. I'm just like,
we just took them all. And I'm like, she's like, "What's going on with those bags?" I'm like,
"Oh,
funny.
I'm like, it's funny."
It was such a thing. And then the lady, it was older woman in front of us, like a grandmother, and she goes, I go, "Yeah, didn't you hear about these bags before? People were selling them for $100 on eBay. I don't know. It's crazy." So she looks back at us. Next thing I know, she's like, "I'll be right back." And she goes over and grabs the bag too. Both of these women go grab the bags. I mean, it was one of those things, I don't know if you ever, and I'm sure most, just like the Cabbage Patch Kid. Yeah. So it's just like the Cabbage Patch situation in the 80s. I don't know. I was so little at the time, but my mom would tell me stories about that.
My mom got a Cabbage Patch Kid stolen from her trunk when she worked at Kmart.
Yes. You see, people were grabbing. I mean, it was like, you got to grab and run. But you didn't. But it did feel that way.
Didn't. I mean, we kind of did.
We did.
I think we walked out, film
and
too.
then I was like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have taken so many or bought so many." But I think it was fine. I'm giving them away.
I think I purchased responsibly.
Yeah,
I'm happy with my purchase. My purchases.
So yeah,
the totes. So
it was funny. It was a fun time. We'll share some of those videos we took on there.
Yeah,
because I was going to share them with the instructors. I was like, "I'm going in." I'm like, it was
so.
It was a good time.
Funny.
We laughed.
So funny.
It was a nice mid-week.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. So with that being said, we will be giving away 2 pink Trader Joe's totes.
2 totes.
So we're gonna be actually pulling 2 giveaway winners.
Yeah.
And inside each tote. So yesterday morning, I am getting ready. I'm going to meet Jen. I had a good feeling that I was going to have jury duty today. And what gave me that feeling was just how they were talking about the numbers on the voicemail that you had to call and the group number that I was in. I was pretty certain they were going to call me today, and they did. So yesterday it was my day to get all the things done, and I'm going to get ready, and I'm looking through my closet, and it was just one of those days where it's not too hot, it's not too warm, I didn't need a jacket, and I did not like anything that was in my closet. If you are a female, you know exactly how I was feeling. Nothing that I owned could make me feel good about myself. I was like, I just need a new shirt. So I, prance on over to the TJ Maxx. I don't know if you can really put an S on the back end.
The Maxes.
The Maxes. And I really just wanted a bright color. I wanted a pink. I wanted a yellow. I just wanted something to just make me feel bright and happy. I just needed something. You want to know why? Because I still needed to wash my colors. My colors were all dirty.
All dirty.
All my bright colors were all dirty. First world problems. So I go to TJ Maxx and I have this yellow sweater. I actually was really excited about it. And then this was after I made my Barbie. If you haven't seen my Barbie has this tribe bra on. She's got a podcast mic. She's got a spin shoe. She's very on brand. She also has a martini and she has oysters. So because I like martinis and I like oysters. I mean, I just got done making martinis, and showed the internet. I've stuffed my own olives with blue cheese. So I'm going through the racks and here comes this nice embroidered shirt that has a martini and oysters. It's a sweatshirt that has a martini and oysters on it. And it says Paris, France at the very bottom. And I believe in French, it says oysters then martinis.
It does. It says oysters. That's, I don't know how to pronounce that, but
it doesn't sound French. That sounds something else. But anyway, I am so excited about this sweatshirt that I get Jen one, and I'm so excited. I hide it in my purse. I walk in, and Jen immediately is like, "Your sweatshirt is hilarious." I'm like, "Well, I
think I was like, oh, it's so cute."
Well, at first you said it was hilarious.
Because
like,
it is kind of funny.
Hilarious.
It's a giant martini.
And I was so excited to give her her own. So I give her her own, and we go out. We have a nice time getting martinis and everything. But last night, I go to teach in Baltimore at 5:30, and I'm standing behind the front desk, and I swear every single person that walked into the Baltimore studio had something to say about my sweatshirt. So much so that I went back to TJ Maxx. I got 2 more sweatshirts. So inside each Trader Joe's tote is going to be one of these sweatshirts. So you guys are going to get a sweatshirt and a tote to match us. And how you're going to enter this giveaway is, here's the criteria. Follow us on Instagram. You have to follow the Spin Cycle Pod. You have to like the post on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you have to comment on this specific episode on Spotify. Those 4 things.
4 things. You got this. I think that's great.
Actually, let's add a 5th thing. I need you to tag 3 friends in the comments of the post that we're going to post.
So they could enter too.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, cute sweatshirt and a
Trader Joe's bag. So that was awesome. All right.
Yeah, we received a lot of really great feedback about having longer episodes, and here we are talking for an hour and 40 minutes. So
that's really long.
You're welcome. Tomorrow's Friday Eve, y'all, and I don't have jury duty.
Woo! See you on Friday.
Yay! Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, Friday night. We'll see y'all then.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of The Spin Cycle. We'll be back next Monday with a brand new episode.
Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on all social media at Spin Cycle Pod. Thank you guys again for tuning in.